with Elizabeth, featuring Del Moore. Incident number 1 in the life of Elizabeth occurred the day everything went wrong. We all have those days, but when Elizabeth has one, she doesn't fool around. Everything went wrong. But maybe things are all right by now. Elizabeth, how are you tonight? Oh, I'm sorry. Isn't that the finger you hurt earlier today? Too bad. Were you able to get the ink out of the rug? How's the burned elbow? Good. How's the sprained toe? Much better. I have a feeling things will start going right from now on. May we see the wallpaper you picked out?
Cigarettes. Paperman said there was a storm brewing, and I see he's right. Look at that face.
Alvin, I've had a bad day, and I'd prefer it if you just skip the funny stuff.
You know what's the matter with you? You get mad at inanimate objects.
I do not.
Well, sure you do. Just now you burned yourself on the lamp, and what'd you do? You tried to take a swing at the light bulb.
I did not.
All right, look. Let's go through the list of mishaps. Now, how did you burn your elbow?
On the stove.
And then you went in the other room, spilled the ink. How did that happen?
Well, the buzzer on the stove made me jump.
And then you smashed your finger. How did that happen?
On the stove.
And how did you sprain your toe?
I kicked the stove.
Now it's time to laugh.
Is it?
Well, sure. Honey, I know you. Any minute now you'll see something funny in the whole situation, and you'll laugh. Now, what were you doing in the other room just now?
I was chasing the stupid wallpaper up the wall.
What?
Oh, you'd have died laughing, Alvin. I held the wallpaper up against the wall like this, and it wrapped itself around my arm like a boa constrictor.
Well, any other time, that'd make you laugh.
Would you care to go into the snake pit with me and try for a few giggles?
Sure. Look, I have a feeling that you've had your last accident of the evening.
No, maybe you're right.
What's the matter?
Splinter?
Now, come on. Now, let's take a look at the boa constrictors of yours. This is one.
Hold it against the wall.
Wall? Like this?
Now reach for the yardstick. Funny?
Well, what's the big idea of holding it against the wall anyway?
Mainly because it's wallpaper.
Look, all you want to do is to see the pattern, right? Here.
I guess you're right.
Sure, I'm right. Now.
This is the one I picked out for this room. You hold it down at that end. What do you think?
Well, let me look at it.
Time to laugh now, Alvin?
Oh, don't be ridiculous, Elizabeth. Get something to put on it. Here, book or something. Make it. Elizabeth, let me get... Look, put the book down there on that end. I'll hold it down here.
See what you think of this one.
That isn't bad.
Would you put a book down at the...
Well, I did, but you got... Elizabeth, let me have this one. Oh, wait a minute.
No, wait.
What's so funny?
Nothing. I'm hysterical.
Don't give up. I thought your sense of humor would take over by now.
Wait a minute. Honey, give me another book.
Well, you're not hysterical. You did think of something.
Give me another
book. Yeah? Bulger's.
Right, now come here. You come on around here. Around here.
Around here?
Now. Here. You take that. Okay, you ready?
What are we doing?
A dime says this roll is faster than yours.
You got it.
Okay.
Here we go.
1, 2, 3, go.
Hey, wait a minute.
This is fun. Let's have another go at it.
Hey, now wait a minute.
Really?
Oh, now, honey, you pushed yours. That's not fair.
No, I didn't, honey. These are just faster colors than those, that's all.
I shall leave you at this point, Elizabeth.
Why?
I think there's some faster wallpaper out in the garage. I'll be right back. Quick.
Elizabeth, a big girl like you, aren't you ashamed? Number 2 in the life of Elizabeth occurred because she's a little on the tender-hearted side when it comes to animals. I wouldn't want to say she overdoes this tendency, but Alvin might.
Okay, fellas. Dinner's ready.
Let me wash up, honey, and I'll be right with you.
Not you, silly. I mean the birds. Look, darling, aren't they cute?
I don't see any birds.
They're still in the bushes. There's Charlie over there. And there's Rupert up in the tree. Look.
Rupert?
I call him Rupert because he's so many different colors.
Rupert Colors?
No, Rupert Hughes.
Look. I had the bird a lot of times, but I've never seen a situation where Got a load of the buzzard over by the fence.
Buzzard. Morning, Mrs. Skinridge. Just feeding the birds.
How do you like that? I'd like to look over there one time without seeing her head hanging over the fence. You know, I'm beginning to forget what the rest of her looks like.
She's very thin. As a matter of fact, you see those two fence posts standing right next to each other?
Yeah.
Wave to the one on the left.
She'll be watching every move we make the rest of the afternoon. You would think that we'd have one day when I could look over there and not see that head hanging over the fence. Gets to be part of the back. What are you looking at?
I'm just looking at these ants. Listen.
Is this leading up to a joke about uncles? Huh?
Seriously, darling, they say ants are the most intelligent form of life. Look at this. Look, honey. Hundreds of them, all busily engaged in some kind of work, see?
I'll say one thing for them. They're quiet.
Sure they're quiet. They're all barefooted.
I don't see anything intelligent about ants. Look at them. They keep bumping into each other.
Don't forget, I've seen you drive a car.
I still say they're not intelligent. Look at that stoop trying to carry a telephone pole. They're so smart, why doesn't somebody help him?
Well, maybe the others all belong to a different union or something.
Uh-oh, look at Stoop, he's having trouble. There's a pebble in the road.
Oh, that won't bother Fred. He'll go around it.
Fred.
That's his name. Fred's a genius. He'll go around the pebble. Watch.
Bet you a dime he tries to carry the telephone pole over the top of the pebble.
A bet.
Bet.
Now, don't crowd him, Alvin. Give him room.
He's coming up to the pebble. Over the top, Fred. Over the top.
Don't go around it, Fred. There's lots of room.
Come on, Fred. Over.
Come on, don't listen to Alvin.
Come on. Go, let me go. Oh, two can play at that game. All right, Freddie.
Oh, Bill, you're giving him signals.
What
Come
do you mean
on.
signals? I'm not doing any more than you.
Fred, come on. Fred, Hi, Mrs. Skinridge. It was the ant. He was carrying a telephone pole. He had a bet.
Never mind. She thinks we flipped our lid anyway.
He gets kind of carried away. I mean, you don't think her head is caught in the fence, do you?
Elizabeth, did you know that we have a baby volcano on our front lawn?
Where?
Right there, that little mountain.
Oh, that's Floyd's house.
Who's Floyd?
Friend of Rupert's.
Elizabeth, when you start naming worms, you've gone too far.
Alvin, do you really think I'd be so silly as to give a name to a worm?
Well, don't forget, I just met Fred. Now, who's this character, Floyd?
A gopher.
A gopher?
Seriously, honey, he's so cute and he's smart, too. I'm teaching him to sit up.
How can you say a thing like that? Gophers are pests. Why, they chew the roots of all of the plants. You watch, in 3 months' time, that little beast will chew every plant that we have. They even pull them down from under the ground.
Not Floyd.
They do.
He doesn't even like roots. I feed him carrots and warm cereal. Oh, sweetie, if you could see his beady little eyes light up in excitement when I'm
Maybe you can explain that, Elizabeth?
Oh, well, maybe you watered it too much and it shrank.
I intend to do something about that gopher, and that's all there is to it.
Oh, please, honey. After all, that's the very first plant he's ever eaten.
It'll be the last plant he'll eat, too.
Oh, no, come on, he's so cute. And besides, that's a great big plant. It'll probably be weeks before he can finish all that. Please? Oh, please.
Well, if Floyd means that much to you, dear. Probably be a couple of weeks, huh?
Well, maybe he's giving a party.
Can't you see what he's doing? He's coming right down the line. And this one is next on his list.
I never saw the day that one measly little gopher could eat 3 whole plants. One maybe, but possibly 2, but... How do you like that? Termites.
I'll fix him.
Look out, Floyd! He's getting a hammer.
Won't do you any good to warn him. I'll stay here 3 weeks if I have to. Come out of there, Lloyd.
He's not kidding. Climb
Lloyd,
out.
I'm not kidding his eyes. Dirt's moving. Here he comes. Here he comes. Get him. Come on, but... Throw dirt in my face. I'll fix you. Lloyd! No, he's in there. Beast. You make one false move and eat my plants with you. Come out of there, Floyd. Lloyd. Come out.
Alvin, here's Floyd.
Never mind that. I'm going to get this... Come away. He'll bite.
Oh, isn't he cute?
But
He has another entrance over there, darling.
Are you sure
Now,
he'll bite?
Come on back. Now, how could you be mean to a little fella like this?
Hey, I think he likes me.
Well, sure he does. No, aren't you ashamed for ruining... Come back here. Aren't you ashamed for ruining his house?
Hey, I think he winked at me. Hi, Floyd.
Darling, he's crying.
Oh, would you cry?
Uncle Alvin's going to fix you a nice new house to live in.
Look at this. We'll put him all over the yard.
Hi, Mr. Skinridge.
Hi,
Alvin was digging a hole for a gopher.
Name's Floyd.
Number 3 in the life of Elizabeth started out as just another one of those nights. Elizabeth was finishing up the dinner dishes, and Alvin was on the phone, talking to his friend Harry.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Harry. No poker tonight. We've been trapped. Guess what we'll be doing? Babysitting. Don't ask me how it happened. All I know is we're taking care of one of the neighbor's kids. Now, Elizabeth met this kid's mother. And a woman she hardly knows, by the way, and they started making these female-type arrangements, and all of a sudden I'm a father. Yeah, we'll have to make it some other night. Yeah, okay, Harry. Bye.
Who's that, honey?
I was just explaining to Harry why we're babysitting tonight. Now maybe you'd explain it to me. Who is this kid, anyway?
Well, I told you, darling, that... You see, I have to walk by the school on my way to the market.
Mm-hmm.
And this little kid just happened to see me, and you know how kids are.
He sounds like a little wolf.
Anyway, his mother says she has quite a problem with him. Eddie doesn't like most people.
Oh, he sounds delightful.
So, when she said that he seemed to like me, I was kind of flattered. And before I knew what I was saying, I told her she could send him over here some evening. His name's Eddie Miller.
Oh, well, sweetie, let's make the best of it. Hey, wait a minute. It's not that little smart aleck down the block, is it?
I don't know, darling. I've never seen the boy. See, he saw me when I walked by the school.
No, you know the one I mean, honey. That little freckle-faced monster that stopped me a few days ago and asked me why it rained.
What did you tell him?
Well, I told him it rained so things would grow, like pears and apples and flowers and so on.
Hmm? What did he say?
He said, oh, yeah? Then how come it rains on the sidewalk?
Oh, kids are funny.
Man.
I used to embarrass my mother all the time.
She must have changed a lot.
Now, cut that out. I remember we had this neighbor of ours was sick, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And Mama said, Elizabeth, go on over and see how old Mrs. Cooper is this morning.
Then what happened?
Mrs. Cooper said it was none of Mama's business how old she was.
The thing that happened to me years ago.
Well,
this is one of the...
we can't sit here reminiscing. We have to get ready.
What I like about you, Elizabeth, when you're through with the conversation, you don't fool around.
Here, you want to open that?
What is it?
Well, I thought we ought to have some toys for Eddie to play with.
Well, honey, if the kid's in school, he won't want to play with blocks.
You never know, honey.
Oh, he'll love this. Say, why didn't you make arrangements to have us babysit with a 19-year-old brunette or something? Huh?
Now, let's both go to the door and make the little fella feel welcome.
Oh, Eddie.
Yeah. Come on in, Eddie. Excuse me, we were expecting someone else.
You hear what my wife said? We were expecting someone else. College fraternity's down the street a couple blocks.
We don't need any subscriptions, young man.
I'm Eddie Miller.
Eddie Miller? Is this the kid?
I don't know. He's so big and intelligent looking.
Mama sent me over.
Oh, come on in, Eddie. Right on over there.
We got some toys for you to play with there.
Alvin. You go right here and sit right down. There. What do we talk? How old are you, Eddie?
19.
I wish, darling. A 19-year-old brunette.
What school do you go to, Eddie?
What school do you go to, Eddie?
Well, City College.
Maybe I didn't say it right. Are you a sophomore, son? I say, are you a sophomore?
Are you a sophomore, Eddie?
Oh, yes. Uh-huh.
Alvin, don't tease the boy.
Well, it's a little difficult trying to be sociable looking at a head of hair.
Eddie's just shy, aren't you, Eddie?
Well,
Okay, you can turn back now. I'd forgotten what you looked like.
Alvin, please. Why don't you take these toys in the other room?
The amount of intelligence the boy has shown so far, I'd better not take the toys too far away.
Now then. Eddie, you don't have to be shy with me. You know something? You act like a boy in love.
well, I am.
I thought so. And you want somebody to talk it over with, is that it?
Mm-hmm.
Tell me all about her.
Well, she's wonderful and she's beautiful, and I love her. Of course, she's a little older than I am.
Well, that shouldn't make a bit of difference if you really love her.
Oh, I love her, but it's hopeless.
Now, true love is never hopeless. Besides, she'd be a lucky girl to have a fellow like you.
She doesn't even know I exist.
Then you must do something about it. I'll help you. Who is she?
You?
I...
Hey, are you sure you won't need this?
I hate him.
Now, Eddie, you mustn't talk like that. He's my husband, and I love him.
Oh, I know it's hopeless. In fact, the only thing to do in a case like this is kill myself.
Now, Eddie, will you listen to me for a minute?
You know, you're really being awfully nice about this whole thing. I know it must be pretty tough on you to be married to a nasty old man like that.
Alvin isn't nasty. I mean, he's sweet and good.
Every time he comes near you, I want to throttle him with my bare hands.
Now, Eddie, you're just excited. So am I. School. Let's talk about school. They say the square of the hypotenuse is a nice thing to have on a right triangle.
When he touches you, my blood boils.
What's new in algebra?
Don't worry. I realize how hopeless it is. But after I kill myself, I think I'll kill him.
Eddie, now listen. Alvin and I
Well, how's the little old baby coming along, huh?
Alvin, please.
Huh?
We're getting along just fine, darling.
You
Well,
can't tell me a kid this big needs a babysitter. I bet he maneuvered the whole thing just to be near you, huh, Elizabeth?
well, you never know what a boy like Eddie's thinking, Alvin. Why don't you go change the needle on the phonograph?
Hey, wait a minute. We don't have any phonographs.
Something's talking too much.
She's always telling these funny jokes. Don't you wish you had a girl like this, Eddie, huh? Wait a minute, what's going on here anyway?
Nothing, Alvin. Eddie and I were just talking about the hypotenuse of a right triangle. Did you say triangle?
Now there's a stupid sentence. I ever heard one.
Don't you talk to her like that, you nasty old man. I love her, and you don't deserve an angel like the...
Let me belt the kid once,
No,
honey.
Alvin, he's calming down.
Hey, can I have this?
Look, let me give him this. This will do him more good.
Yes, you may have that. It's a picture of my sister.
Gee, she's cool. She looks just like you.
She isn't married either.
May I put my arm around her now, Eddie?
Oh, sure, go ahead.
Thanks.
Oh, boy, wait till the fellas at school see this.
What are you laughing about?
I was just thinking. What a gold mine this college is going to be if you ever get out of line.
Now I don't have to kill myself.
And one thing you can't do, you've got to stop picking on this nasty old man.
That was the funniest thing that happened
did
after you came in the door, and I had these blocks of all things. I spent
You
at
must
least
have
4 or
said
5
how
years
old you
old.
were, you know.
I even said if you're going to school, you want to play with any...
Say goodbye to the people.
Goodbye,
everybody.
There's one other funny thing I like. The Rattler thing. You look real good.